So today we're going to have a look at multiplying large numbers by each other. The method I'm going to show you is designed to be really accurate and help you work out things really quickly. The grid method, that looks like this, is accurate at this point, but quite often, because people are in a rush, they make mistakes when they add them up. So the method that I'm going to show you is going to end up looking a bit like this. But instead I'm going to multiply by 38 instead of 18. It looks complicated now, but actually it really stops errors. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write out my digits, one on top of the other. It doesn't really matter which way round you do it, but it's just habit that in our educational system we tend to put the smaller number on the bottom. Or 38 times 428 is the same as 428 times 38. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually write the true values of each number. So this 8 is 8 units, so it doesn't change. Same with this 8. But this 2 is actually in the tens column, so it represents the number 20. So I'm going to actually write that. The 3 here really represents the number 30. So I'm going to write that here. And this 4 represents 400, so I'm going to write that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some columns down just to help myself keep everything in its rightful place when we do our next set of calculations. Notice that I'm drawing an extra one because I've got a 10 digit multiplied by 100, so that's going to mean I have at least 4 digits. So this is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to double check that I'm going to do the right amount of calculations. Now, one thing that people get wrong is they don't do enough calculations. You need to make sure that every single number here meets every single number on the top. So for instance, the 8 must meet this 8, this 20, and this 400, and this 30 must meet this 8, this 20, and this 400. One way of checking that you've got the right number of calculations is to multiply how many digits there are on top, so 1, 2, 3 digits of your original sum, and how many digits there are on the bottom, which is 2. So 3 times 6, so I'm expecting 6 separate calculations which I'm going to fill out in these rows. So first I'm going to start with my units. 8 times 8 is 64. I remember that because I ate an 8 till I was sick on the floor. Now I'm going to do 8 times 20, so that's the same as 8 times 2, which is 16, times by 10 to account for the 0, so that's going to give me 160. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 8 times 400. Now, one really good way of multiplying by 4 is to actually times something by 2 and then times it by 2 again. So doubling something and doubling it again gives you the same as 4 times it. So here I'm going to times 8 by 2 and then times it by 2 again. So 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, but again I'm doing 8 times 400, so I'm going to end up with 3,200 because I've got 32, which is what I've just calculated from the 8 times 4 and the 2 zeros. Now I've dealt with this 8 completely, so I can cross it through. Next I'm going to do 30 times 428. So 30 times 8 is the same as 3 times 8 with a 0 on the end. So 3 times 8 is 8, 16, 24, so I have 240. Now I can cross that one off now because it's been dealt with by both of these numbers. Now I'm going to do 30 times 20, so I'm going to do 3 times 2, which is 6, and include my 2 zeros, so that's going to give me 600. Next I'm going to do 30 times 400, so 4 times 3 is 12, and 3 zeros. If you're not sure what the number's going to look at, you can always cheat and just write in your 3 zeros first, and then write in your 3 times 4, which is 12, in place. Now notice, just to double check that I've done all of the sums I should, have I got 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, perfect. So I've actually completed all of the calculations I need to. Next, what I need to do is add up all these parts. So 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 4 is 16. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write the extra 1 from the 16 in this column to make sure that I carry my 10. Now let's add this column up. 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 is 6, plus 6 is 12. So again, I'm going to have to carry. So write my unit in, and then carry my 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 2 is 5, and then I'm just left with my 1 over here. So that gives me 15,264.